we can. I hope that you all are listening. So today's topic, we say in Eastern wisdom that without Satsang, means the company of the real self. It's a talk. You are listening to the teacher from the teachings of the great masters. Veil of ignorance is not removed, and meditation does not succeed. So I'm concluding the last almost 3 and 4 sessions that we had. We have to listen to this again and again. So that is why we covered one verse. Vidya dadati vinayam. The knowledge leads to humility. Humility makes us a qualified seeker. Seeker leads us to inner and the outer wealth, and that results in the righteous life of Shreyas, that results in permanent happiness. This is what the sequence is. Vidya dadati vinayam. Vidya dadati vinayam. Vinayam dadati patratvam. Patratvat dhanamapanuti. Dhanat dharma tatah sukham. Knowledge. You can make a sequence. The knowledge, humility, qualified seeker, inner and the outer wealth, righteous life of the Shreyas, and the permanent happiness. You are listening and listening and listening. So it depends on the nature and the level of the mind. If the mind is too much engaged in emotional dependence, attachment, then it takes some time. One thing to remember, be very clear. That's where a lot of people ask those questions. One thing to remember, the Eastern wisdom never rejects what the science says. It has nothing to do with anything opposite to the science. What science says or what knowledge is gained by the science, we have nothing to do. We want to understand. Let the science complement our journey of the self-discovery. Have you seen? No. Have you seen on the social media, I know the secret of meditation. 5 minutes of meditation, 1 minute of instant meditation. So there is it's clearly evident that when we study science, it results in arrogance. Here what we say, the knowledge must lead to humility. Why? I am teaching from the knowledge passed on to us by the masters. That's why I put more than 2,000 practices just online. You take it, you distort it, you change it, you do the practice, you don't do the practice, you criticize it. Who cares? Who cares? That is the difference between the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. It must result into a kind of humility, and that prepares my mind inside for the journey, which is the greatest obstacle, that this is my knowledge. I will talk later. We don't have a patent. In science, you have already a patent. That is the beauty. But anyone who talks about the patent in the Eastern wisdom, he doesn't know it. But she doesn't know it. Simple. Leave aside. It's an open secret. But it is open secret only for the seekers. If you become the seeker, knowledge is open and secret to those who are not a seeker. And we covered another verse, alasasya kuto vidya. If I'm lazy, if I'm a non-seeker, then there is an absence of knowledge. Non-seeker, not qualified. No humility. Avidasya kuto dhanam. And then there is no chance of permanent happiness. Laziness simply means that I am not ready, not clear. You have already seen for the last almost 2 years, many people came, many people left. So I have to be an influencer, I have to chase those people. Why should I chase those people? Question is this. Why? When you are a non-seeker, you are not ready. I don't want to name, but you have seen the women who say, no, you all get so beautiful experiences, I'm not getting it, hence I'm leaving. Examine your mind. So here the journey is this. Now coming to the satsang, the main topic, satsangatve nesasangatvam. Simple. Satsang means we are listening, talking, understanding these principles. While understanding, the intellect settles in that knowledge, and one day what will happen, you wake up in the morning, your mind says, you woke up late, you are not relaxed before sleeping. Make your mind empty. So that knowledge is revealed. When that knowledge is revealed, then what happens? Satsangatve nesasangatvam. By listening to these knowledge and the principles, what is the result? The mind leaves the attachment. Mind leaves the emotional dependence. But it demands regular listening, contemplation, and practice. When women from Europe says, no, I have done this practice. You have given me this practice for a couple of months before. So it was a change practice. Now I was talking to Stephen, Sam, and Brandy the other day, that I said that I can give you, every time I can give you a new practice. Question is your mind accepting it? Is your mind changing? Do you examine? Do you contemplate and reflect? I have done this practice. What happened to me? Why I am not changing? I have another guy in India. I gave him more than 60 practices in 60 days. He says, give me more. Nothing is changing. So what it demands, what is the gap, what is the problem? I listen to the talk, I listen it again. I reflect on it, I contemplate. I listen to it and then I start thinking, okay, this is the nature of the mind, this is what the attachment is. Oh, attachment has bring those symptoms, let me get out of it. That clarity results in detachment. So once the mind leaves that emotional dependence, what happens? So second line says, Nisasangatve nirmohatvam. Because of that sense of emotional dependence has left your mind, or mind has left that emotional dependence, it results into removing the delusion. What is that delusion? Oh, you don't love me. It has been 10 years. Emotional dependence. You become aware. And the moment you are aware, oh no, happiness is inside. That delusion, that anxiety dissolves. If it doesn't dissolve, you are not attending the session. No, you are attending the session, but you are not attending the session. So what happened is sangatve nirmohatvam, second line. Satsang, knowledge and company of the truth, by listening and learning, followed by the contemplation and reflection, results in dispassion. Dispassion results in removing the delusion. Now the delusion has already gone. Imagine the state of the mind. Your mind is already steady. It's a naturally steady. You wake up in the morning, you need not to remind your mind with a phone and agenda and alarm. You wake up, you know the agenda. I know I have 4 sessions today. At what time? I know the topic that I need to talk. I will change the topic if the individual wants it. So the mind is naturally steady. That mind which is naturally steady can absorb into meditation, results in awakening and realization. So remember, company of the truth means listening, learning, contemplation. Results into dispassion. Dispassion, removing the delusion from the mind. So when the delusion is removed, the mind is naturally still. It becomes a mind of a child. Very well, okay. Pay attention here. So you pay attention. Done. Do you remember what we have been talking about? We have been understanding what is knowledge, what is dispassion, what is delusion, what is emotional freedom, what is the difference between the individual and the supreme consciousness, and how to remove the sorrow and the suffering. These are the topics I'm covering. So we will take the Satsang. Understand that Satsang. Small or very little thoughts with the emotion causes the suffering, pain, feeling, insert, duality, conflict, confusion. It appears that we have lost everything. And that is where the emotional dependence comes, fear comes, the worries comes, the duality enters, conflict and attachment. That woman before Christmas, she wrote to me, I am totally, I'm crazy. I don't know what to do. My son invited me to celebrate the Christmas in his home because his home is big. Do you see the attachment and delusion? What is the focus? Focus is to celebrate him. Now I'm not able to solve this. So even for celebrating an event together, there is a problem. Do you see that? That is what happens in our daily life. You may recall many even, no, we should do like this. Do whatever you want to do. I agree with you. My focus is to celebrate an event. When you listen to these principles, our doubts and worries and fear dissolves. It happens silently in your mind, and life moves towards the inner calm and the peace. So what satsang gives? Talk, listening and learning in every talk. Thought that causes emotional freedom. You simply learn those principles, it strikes your intellect, emotional freedom, but if you repeat it, that knowledge is realized by the mind. You have a sense of kindness and peace and happiness. Now understand in a different way this. When there is an attachment, when there is a delusion, when there is a seeking of peace and happiness outside in the world, there is a fall of consciousness with prana, with the energy, in a very small thoughts. And when you listen to these talks, there is a rise of consciousness with the energy. That happens in satsang. Fall of mind because of attachment, because of delusion. I take the attachment and a delusion as a fact. And that's where I just give a reference of the Kundalini, that in Kundalini we say the top of the head is the center of the Shiva, means the highest consciousness, the real self. The the tail of the spine represents the survival, negative thoughts, desire, greed, fear, etc. So when we say fall of consciousness, what it means? It simply means that energy moves with the mind down and it lives with the delusion. It lives with the attachment. Choice is there. So we understand by listening these principles that this mind can get the right knowledge. When I have a right knowledge, the mind does not fall down, so the energy also goes up. That is another way of awakening the Kundalini. You need not to worry about those chakras. It happens. It changes your behavior. It changes your attitude. It makes you very kind. It makes you very soft. The mind remains in the state of the calmness. That is more important than looking at blue color, light color in the chakra. That you can see outside in the world. Now, I'm not criticizing. That is also a tradition. But when we follow the highest journey, we have to understand it clearly. Sometimes you need those practices, and at other times you don't need. You need only a right knowledge, understanding, clarity. That changes the mind. When the mind changes, the movement of the energy also changes. So satsang helps this. Now, another point where the Kundalini tradition is based and what we are doing is totally in a different dimension. Tell me, does the mind have a shape, size, weight? Does the mind have a shape, size, weight? No, it doesn't have shape, size, and weight. But in delusion and attachment, it takes the shape, size, weight, color. Mom, you don't love me. Now the mind has become the mom. Do you see that? Mind has become the mom. That image of the mom is always there. You don't love me. I had those feelings. That's why I'm recalling those young days. We were three brothers. I felt that dad was not loving me. Mom was. This is an attachment. The mind takes the shape, size, weight, color because of the delusion and attachment. With objects, people, things, situations in the world. No, I'm in a bad situation. It's a bad morning. Shape. It's a bad morning. Shape. So one girl would talk to me that I don't want to talk to my mom. You know my mom, so you talk to her. Shape. That happens in our relationship, that happens in business, that happens in profession. So by listening, that sense of emotional dependence dissolves. It's a great blockage in realizing our real self. So when we understand that, the mind has taken the shape, that's why I am repeating the thoughts of the mom and an emotional attachment. That's why I have those fears. That's why I have an anxiety. And the more you understand, it drops. And then you practice meditation, it reverses. So another approach to those who cannot understand means those who are not seeker or those who are low level of a seeker. Then we talk about the chakras. Then we talk about the colors and the visions and a long list. Oh, let us do the breathing. Breathing helps. Where is Krishna? Is not here. No, breathing always helps me. It helps. But when I'm a higher level of a seeker, I don't require that. We will come to that. We will reach to that state. Have you seen that sometime we say, oh, don't disturb me. Leave me alone for an hour. For what? For what? To think of loneliness? Why? To get more stress, more pain, more jealousy, more hatred, more attachment? Huh? We normally make a statement here. I have heard, no, leave me alone. No, not leaving me alone. That mind in attachment and the delusion wants to think again and again over those thoughts. You don't need it. You need these thoughts to listen. So that your mind is clear. Mind likes to control what cannot be controlled. That's why you say, oh, leave me alone. Leave me alone, honey, for an hour. Let me think and I'll come back. So what is the result? I realize that you don't love me. That is the conclusion after an hour. I think everyone might have done it one time or the other. I have done it. So I realize. Satsang holds. Satsang builds the relationship with the word in the mind that moves with the peace, happiness, joy, kindness, tolerance, humility. That is the job of a seeker. That is the role of a seeker. You learn, you understand that to remain cheerful is my birthright. Or stress or anxiety or duality is our birthright. Why? Because of the world outside. Because of the attachment. That is the beauty of the satsang. So when I say I spent 26 years with the master, every time you learn something, you are ready to drop those ideas, those thoughts, supported by the feeling, causes the emotional dependence. Causes the emotional dependence. That is what I titled today's talk, that satsang removes the veil of ignorance, wrong notions over the real self. The last point to understand. Very important to understand. Conclusion. World outside constantly changing. World outside is constantly changing. So there is a state, there is a condition of the world. Mind reflects it. So there is a mental state because of the world outside. Huh? Two conditions. One condition is outside. World of people, place, objects. Second, mind reflects and created another condition. I like you, I don't like you. I hate you, I am attached to you. You don't call me, you did not wish me the birthday. That is my state of the mind. Two things, they are changing. Third is real self. 3 points of it. Do you see? We work at the 3 levels. World outside, different situation, condition, constantly changing. Now they are changing and mind picked up some changes in terms of the attachment, fear, insecurity, duality, pain and conflict. Now mind lives into that without noticing the real self. So real self is veiled. I lose being a seeker. Are you getting it? Three. It is like, there is a sun here that never changes. You have a yellow color. Here, the sun appears as a yellow. And now the mind has already colored yellow. Then it perceives the world with attachment, with the fear and insecurity. So you have a lot of confusion and conflict. So what is the role of a seeker? The world influences the mind. The mind is influenced, lives in delusion, veils, covers the real self. What should we do? Are you getting it? You look at me, so your mind is colored with a guy with a beard, talking, listening. Mind is already colored. Mind is colored. The moment I look at Brandy, she is a girl. Look at Stephen, mind is already colored. Do you see that? Are you aware of that? So, then it is color. If it is colored with the attachment and delusion, the mind will continue to create a veil. It covers the real self. It will not be able to manifest. What is the goal of meditation? Is to allow the real self to influence the mind. And then the mind should influence the pure mind, should influence the world. You are always living in peace and happiness. Did you get it? 3 layers. You can check. You simply become aware. That awareness is required in meditation. No, I'm aware, living from moment to moment. So what is happening at this moment? I'm angry at this moment. So live in angry moment. That is not living from moment to moment. No, we talk a lot about it. Oh, mindfulness is living from moment to moment. No, I have to examine. If the real self is affecting the mind, and the mind is affecting the world outside, not the other way. Why it happens, that we will take up. That we will take up. Next time, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Oh, the thoughts. Eyes are closed, body is steady, mind is facing within. So, mind, you are my friend. Come on. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Seeker's mind is seeker's friend, not the enemy. Mind goes somewhere, you bring it back. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. What is the meaning? Let there be well-being for all. It is only the word that contains the knowledge, and that knowledge has transformed the world through the science. Solar power, electric vehicle. See, the Elon Musk has transformed through the world. So don't see that word is something special. It is special to change me. Elon Musk used that word to change the material world. So don't keep your mind closed with the mantra. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Oh. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. So what is the knowledge I have already given? You see that? So only the single word, then you expand it, you clarify it, you become the Elon Musk. You become the Bill Gates. But here, the journey, these mantra, takes my mind inside, reveals that knowledge of the real self. I believe I made the things clear. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Mind, don't engage in duality, conflict and confusion. Let there be peace for all. Check. Are you filtering out? Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Peace. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Completeness in all. It takes time, my dear friends, when the mind becomes totally free from emotional dependence, doubt, anxiety, that we are incomplete. The sense of incompleteness leaves your mind by learning these principles, absorbing and digesting it. So what happens? Mind says, I'm always ready for meditation. I'm in meditation. A sense of completeness. The greatest challenge to the mind is that we feel the sense of incompleteness. You move a body little, you find the discomfort. You are in anxiety, you are in long list. Sense of incompleteness comes only by right knowledge and clarity. Yes, and Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, auspiciousness. I told you last time that it means auspiciousness means progress towards happiness now, in future, next moment. Again, understand the Sanskrit word of auspiciousness means mangal, and mangal means where the pure happiness meets with the knowledge. Where the electricity meets with Tesla. I'm just giving a very practical understanding. Where the mind meets with the pure happiness from inside with the right knowledge. You are already in the state of meditation. Let us follow the nyasa, deep, silent and slow breathing. Is the car, as you inhale, move the mind inside the right arm, the way you want to do it, but awareness of the space. Singing Om Shanti. And as you exhale, you are aware the mind is moving here. We need that awareness where the mind moves in the space and intellect, dropping the knowledge. Om Shanti. We are preparing the mind to reveal the knowledge. And that mind has nothing to do with the body. You are aware of the body. Body is steady. Eyes are closed. You need not to even think about it that body is causing any discomfort. No, it's okay. Everything is okay. Mind is going to experience differently the tingling, the numbness. The mind may have the vision and the colors. Continue with that. But journey continues. That is very important. Om Shanti. You are singing. To whom? For yourself. Why? To change the mind. How come? Not to allow the mind to be influenced by the worldly conditions and creates its own craziness and laziness inside. Look at the powerful means to change the mind. Now moving the mind inside the left arm. And our mind in these sessions has been educated to follow the nyasa easily, and that is why we will gradually go into the next step. Moving the mind, dropping Om Shanti. Om Shanti. And now inside the right leg. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. And now inside the left leg. Om Shanti. See, the mind is absorbed within. And now inside the spine, and now triangle either inside the head or the heart, equilateral, pointing upward. Casually, you move the mind. You see, we are deliberately and consciously asking the mind to create a shape. So, one time, clockwise movement, then center of the triangle, there you sing Om. Mind goes into the cave of your heart, and then Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti is the essential nature of the real self. Last point that we understood that there are three layers. The world outside, the mind, mental condition. Why the mind should be influenced by the outer conditions? Constantly changing world. Now compare that. We are moving deeper. Real self, come to the mind. From the mind, go to the world. This journey, little bit takes time. You have left the world. Everything is normal, natural. So what we understood from the last verse, when the mind leaves all the delusion and totally emotionally free, what happens? That is what we understood. Then there is a natural steadiness. That steadiness moves the mind, moves on the triangle. When it is steady, it has nothing but the triangle. There comes the experience. Sometimes you find you are inside the triangle, or triangle is inside you, and sometimes it expands, changes the color at that moment of steadiness. Just for the sake of understanding, and continue the journey. Mind may leave the triangle, but you are able to return the mind on a triangle the next moment. That is more important. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And that is what? Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I could hear there's some issue with the sound, and yeah, I have to work on it. Even when our recording is open and I could see the waves of the buzz. But you continue your journey, my friends. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Take your time. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms. Place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you, Terry? I don't. Yeah. Right. You are already on. I don't hear. You all hear? Quite interesting. I don't hear. Yeah, that is what the IT computer is there. Yes, that's good. Here, that's good. So let Sam try. Wonderful. So you all here, so you are sharing your experiences. It will, yes. Sam, you are speaking? We can chat. Yes, we can chat. You are speaking. Yes, we can chat. I don't hear. I see that there is some problem with my Logitech. And so anyone wants to share their experiences on the chat? I don't hear. Relaxing experience, felt very soft and engaged. Yes, felt very soft and engaged all the time. Yes, that softness comes to the mind. And that softness, maybe I have to restart the computer. So that's only one thing, but we cannot start. So that's very good. Thank you. Have a great day. Writes, Lara. So anyone wants to share their experiences on the chat, or we will? Yes. Trey, yes. Stephen likes to talk, but I know. And David likes to talk, but yeah. And Anastasia can write. Brandy, my experience was relaxing and dark. I was working from a place of peace and calm outward. That's wonderful. You see that is what I have been talking about. This mind lives into that state. It is not at all influenced or dictated by the world outside. It sees the brand, it sees the David, Jerry, everyone. It sees the computer. It sees the computer has a glitch. But the mind should not be influenced by anything else. Yes, we are going to solve the challenges, the problems. And that is what we talk about in terms of our journey to the self. Anyone, anesthesia, you are writing something. So let me see. Anyone can see that, yes? Any question that you like in the meantime? Terry is trying. I like her. You see that? That's really good. Ashok, very, very nice and deeper experience. Peace and calm. Delusion seems to going slowly and slowly. Yes. Yes. In the beginning, we say the delusion goes slowly. So when you switch on the light, darkness goes slowly, step by step. Yes, you are right. Yes, we are. So no, this is good. What you have written is good. So yes, you are caught. Ashok, right there. No, I'm caught. This is what the powerful knowledge does to us. So now you start thinking and contemplating. Oh, why he has given the example of the light and the darkness. It goes away. Do I need to throw this darkness away? No. I have to settle in real self. I have to settle in meditation. Are you getting it? So simple, but so deep. So our intellect must understand, and the mind must accept this without any doubt. Delusion is gone. Otherwise, the mind keeps crying, my honey, my mom, my dad, my money, and long list, my discomfort in the body, my breathing. There is nothing that can hold on to it. Stephen, you are writing? You have written, no. No, you're not. Oh, we will share our experiences later. Terry wants to write, so I'm waiting. Anesthesia, you're writing something? So, anything you're writing. Anyhow, no problem. We will meet again next week. Next session. And we will share our experiences. In the meantime, listen to it. I'm going to send you the files. Thank you very much. Be happy. Keep smiling.